What are the steps for international students to apply for a marriage-based green card? I'm Erick Widman, I'm an immigration lawyer, and first, congratulations. The hardest part of this entire process is the first step, finding the right person to marry. So I always tell my clients, it's way more difficult to find the right person to marry than it is to fight the USCIS Immigration Service. So congratulations that you're already on your way if you've found your special someone. But they are a challenging adversary. USCIS and CBP are going to be looking to see, one of the first threshold issues for international students is whether you had non-immigrant intent or immigrant intent when you came into the United States. It's a prerequisite. It's required to have non-immigrant intent with an F1 student visa. You can't have the preconceived plan and intent to get married. That is a fiancé visa. You need a different visa for that. So instead, you have to maintain this intent to return to your home country, maintain ties and connections there. So a threshold issue when you're applying for a green card based upon your marriage to your spouse is whether you were eligible, whether you were fine applying for the green card at that point based upon an analysis of your immigrant intent. So a rule of thumb, as you can tell, this issue is kind of murky for the adjudicator, the USCIS officer your interview is going to be wondering, did you have intent or not? So a rule of thumb taken from the State Department is the 90-day rule. It used to be a 60-day time frame, but it's currently 90 days. And there's a legal presumption that shifts, that if you, for example, came into the United States and got married quickly, applied for a green card rather quickly with prior to the 90-day period elapsing, there's a presumption, as I simplify things, there's a presumption that you had immigrant intent rather than non-immigrant intent. So the safest thing to do is truthfully and always being honest and upfront with everything, of course, is to file the paperwork and get married after the 90-day period. That will help show USCIS that you did not have immigrant intent. So that is a key threshold issue. And then looking ahead as part of the entire process and the steps involved, you're going to need to make sure that you file a one-step adjustment of status. This is a concurrent filing of a number of different forms at once. There's a Form I-130, 485, there's an affidavit of support, the 864 form. There's also an international travel permit that you would apply for called advanced parole. And of course, you're going to want to apply for a work permit. That's your EAD on yet a different form, the Form 765. So you're able to file all these at once, and USCIS, on average, will take about 6 months currently to get you your work permit and your international travel permit. Remember, you should not travel internationally until you get that advanced parole travel permit, because you'll abandon your adjustment of status application if you do. So that's a disaster. That's a waste of money, and you have to start all over again. But you file these forms, you get your combo card, work permit, travel permit, roughly 6 months from filing, and then you're going to be invited to your green card interview. And by the way, you will of course have taken biometrics, your fingerprints, well before that in order to get the green card. In order to get your EAD combo card, they're going to run your fingerprints, your biometrics, to see if you are eligible for that. They also do the background check to see if you're in general eligible for the green card, of course, and your green card interview might be a year from the time you filed all of that paperwork through the one-step adjustment of status. You, your spouse, if you have an attorney, we all go in there to your interview and you're asked all about your genuine marriage. You're asked to show why you're eligible, and you're certainly asked whether you had immigrant intent or not. What was your plan on your entry into the US as a student? roughly 3 weeks after the interview, you should be receiving your green card if all goes well. The green card will be good for 2 years because you are a conditional permanent resident. You'll have to remove the conditions on the green card and apply for a 10-year green card about 2 years later. And then finally, you can naturalize if you're interested in that within 3 years of being married to a US citizen. That's faster than the 5-year period that applies to everyone who's not married to a US citizen. Let us know if you have any questions. Again, congratulations on finding the right person to marry, and definitely take care.